When I woke up in that hospital room, my body barely hanging on, the first thing I asked was, "Did my parents come?" The nurse didn't answer me with words. She just looked away, pity clouding her eyes. I was in a coma for 3 days. 3 days teetering between life and death after a car crash that shattered my ribs, fractured my spine, and nearly stopped my heart. 3 days where no one from my so-called family showed up. Not my father, not my mother, and certainly not my golden boy brother, Mason. Please subscribe to our channel and tell us in comments from where are you watching this video? The nurse later told me it was my neighbor. Yes, my 74-year-old neighbor, who found me unconscious in my car, slumped over the steering wheel in the freezing cold. She called 911. She waited until the ambulance came. She even visited me. But my parents? The people who raised me? They never even called the hospital. And this wasn't the first time they abandoned me. I should have seen it coming. They always made it clear I was the extra, the unwanted one. I was the daughter who ruined their retirement plan, who cost too much with her asthma meds, who should have married rich like her brother. Every major milestone in my life, graduation, my first apartment, launching my small art business, they barely acknowledged. Meanwhile, Mason got applause for breathing. He crashed 2 cars and they bought him another. He dropped out of college and they framed his decision to explore his passion like he was some misunderstood genius. But this, letting me die? I didn't have insurance. My art didn't cover hospital bills. The medical staff gently asked if there was anyone who could help with the finances. I gave them my father's number. When the hospital called him, he apparently said, "If she's alive, she can figure it out." She always wanted to be independent. They left me for dead. Literally. What they didn't know was that while I was stuck in that sterile white room fighting to breathe, something inside me snapped. Or maybe it woke up. That day, I decided, if I survived, I would never, never let them get a single drop from me again. By the time I was discharged, I was thousands of dollars in debt, bruised in places I didn't know I could be, and walking with a cane. I moved back into the tiny studio I'd been renting. Thank God I'd prepaid for 6 months and started planning. But the universe is funny. Just when I thought I'd have to claw my way out of this pit alone, I got a call from an attorney. Apparently, my great-aunt, one I'd only met twice, had passed away and named me in her will. Her voice had always been kind when we met, her eyes full of something my parents never gave me: respect. She'd been following my art, apparently, quietly supporting my online work. When she died, she left everything to me. Her estate, her land, her investments, all of it. And that's when the real story began. When I stepped into the attorney's office that following Monday, I still had a limp from the crash and bruises on my arms, but I held my chin high. I was handed a folder, thick, legal, overwhelming, and inside it were the details of a fortune I never knew existed. My great-aunt Evelyn had been wealthy, quietly, brilliantly. She'd never flaunted her money because she didn't trust people like my parents. Her estate included a vineyard in Northern California, 3 rental properties in Oregon, and over $3 million in diversified investments, and she left every last bit of it to me, with one line in her handwritten letter that brought tears to my eyes: "To the only one in this family who knows what pain feels like, and never turned cold. Use this to heal and build your own legacy. Leave the rest behind." I didn't tell anyone at first. I didn't need to. I paid off my hospital debt anonymously. I sold the lease on my old studio apartment. I took a trip to the vineyard, my vineyard now, and walked among the rows of grapes like I was finally breathing for the first time. Then came the message from Mason. "Hey, heard you're alive. Mom said you've been ignoring them. Don't be dramatic." No, how are you? No, glad you made it. Just entitlement, arrogance, and that same family poison I'd spent my whole life drinking. But I didn't answer. Not yet. The next week, I saw my parents again, not because I called them, but because they showed up. I'd quietly listed my aunt's beachfront condo for sale, and apparently they recognized the address. I opened the door in silence. My dad's eyes went wide the moment he saw the marble floors. My mother blinked at the luxury furniture. "Whose place is this?" she asked. "Mine," I wanted to say.